So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House, 1940. Giving it 1 out of 5 stars. I hated this flick. I'm giving the disc overall, including the bonus features, 1 out of 5 stars. Sorry, I only did one review today because I overslept. Here's Pieces Disc 1. Pieces Disc 1. Where's Disc 2? I'll have to look it up on Netflix. Of course, Netflix never has Disc 2. Oh, somebody's in the chat room. Probably my son. Somebody left the chat room. This is Of Human Bondage. Betty Davis. 1934. Pieces is 1982. So I'll try to get Pieces and Of Human Bondage in tomorrow. My other day off. I finally got my personal loan approved after calling and complaining day after day. They put my personal loan and I can go to the bank tomorrow to sign the paperwork. And then I don't know how long it takes for the money to hit my account, but soon I should be able to pay all my bills and have a little bit of money left over for Robinhood. It's kind of sad that I have to borrow money at 11% to invest in Robinhood. My Robinhood account keeps going down. Anyways, I'm going to check out bluecrew.com tomorrow. See what kind of part-time work I can get coming up soon here. We'll see how that goes. But I had a phone interview today. It was another Instacart type job for early morning tacos. $50 a day. I said, you want me to drive my own car? Forget it. I wasted your time. Sorry you had to call me and waste your time. I'm not interested. I don't have insurance for driving on the clock in my own car. I only drive company vehicles. Which is why I wasn't driving my personal vehicle when I got into an accident last week. Anyways, it would have been bad news for me if I had. A lot worse than some goofball manager getting angry at me for getting in one accident during the past 7 years. All right. Enough about that. Mr. Blandings. Oh, man. This was a real stinker. And Cary Grant usually is funny in this one. I thought the lady from Holiday Inn, Louise Beavers, was funnier than Cary Grant at the end. If you ain't got wham, then you ain't got ham. That was pretty good. That was the highlight of the entire movie. Good old Louise Beavers. So these so Cary Grant and Myrna Loy. Myrna Loy was much better in Manhattan Melodrama, I think. But anyways, it's got Cary Grant, Myrna Loy, Reginald Denny, Louise Beavers, and Ian Wolfe. It gets a very high 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb. 12,000 ratings, and it's based on a popular novel at the time. And basically, Cary Grant and Myrna Loy are living in Manhattan in this clustered apartment with two daughters, and they have to share a bathroom, and they don't have enough room for socks and underwear and things like that. Closets are full of clutter, toppling over and whatnot. So Cary Grant is an advertising executive making a whopping $15,000 a year when you can get a hot dog for like 15 cents. Before inflation took hold, and so he's trying to come up with a slogan for this ham that's called Wham, which rhymes with spam. Anyways, he can't think of anything. It sort of falls on his lap because they let somebody go, which I suppose happened at my former employer after they laid me off in April. It sort of fell on somebody else's lap, and they didn't want to do it. Anyways, they live in a tiny apartment in New York, Manhattan. They decide to move to the country in Connecticut, find that buying and building and living in their own home is easier said than done. That's the storyline, according to John Vogel, J.L. Vogel at Comcast.net. Anyways, I didn't laugh a single time except for that Louise Beavers moment, the moment of truth at the end. And even that couldn't save the movie. It was pretty bad. And the bonus features took forever. That's part of the reason that I only did one review today. I had the 2 radio broadcasts, all the Cary Grant trailers, and there was something else on the bonus features that the House of Tomorrow cartoon that I had to sit through, and it was pretty lengthy. It was about a couple hours, I think, total, the bonus features on this disc. And I didn't like any of them. Maybe the highlight was the North by Northwest trailer with Alfred Hitchcock. That was only somewhat decent, but not really a thing on this disc, was the North by Northwest trailer. So Cary Grant is struggling to come up with a slogan for this ham called Wham. And he's staying up all night with his secretary. She can't think of anything. He can't think of anything. And all of a sudden, he gets distracted. He wants to buy a country home in Connecticut, get away from city life, buy his dream home. So it's a dilapidated piece of, you know what, and he pays more than double the rate of for each acre of land, and he only gets 35 acres. So he's overpaying for this house, and the shingles are falling off, the floor is falling apart, and he hires a bunch of engineers to check it out. The house is tipping over sideways like the Millennium Tower here in San Francisco. I remember hearing about this one guy who rented an apartment at the Millennium Tower. I had to deliver there on was it Monday night during the Warriors parade when Mission Street and Market Street were closed off. And I remember one guy, he said when he takes a pee, his pee goes sideways because it's tilted. Anyways, that's kind of like what this house is like. So he hires all these engineers to check it out, like 5 of them. They all tell him to demolish the house. But he has to build a new house from scratch, and there are all kinds of issues, like there's a well where they want to put a basement, and Myrna and Cary Grant keep telling the architect, Reginald Denny, to change the plans. So ends up adding more money and more money. Oh, somebody's back in the chat room. Probably my son again. So that's pretty much the movie. I mean, what else can I say about this movie? I listened to the Lux radio broadcast, and I fell asleep about 3/4 of the way through it. And I knew I was, after listening to it multiple times, because it doesn't have a forward button or a backward button or a pause. It only has a pause button and a restart button. So you have to watch the whole thing and sit there for an hour and listen to the whole thing. I mean, the only thing you see is a picture of Irene Dunn and Cary Grant, 2 radio characters for this radio adoption of this movie. It's got the same exact lines in it. So I sat through that. I fell asleep for about 5 minutes. I started to doze off. And the other radio broadcast, I forget the name of it. Mr. Blandings. RCA. It was it's on Old Time Radio Downloads. The Screen Directors Playhouse, 1950. It's only 30 minutes. And even though it's condensed chopped in half compared to the Lux. Radio broadcast. Sponsored by RCA, a funny comedy about a couple moving to the wilds of Connecticut. I didn't find it funny at all. It's got Betsy Drake playing Cary Grant's wife. So Cary Grant had 3 wives, just like My Second Wife or whatever it was called. The other one that I liked a little better, but not much. Anyways, I didn't really pay much attention to the shorter radio version from 1950. Even though it was shorter, I didn't pay attention too much. And I didn't pay too much attention to this movie, as you can tell. I didn't go into description about this, that, and the other. There's this college friend of Myrna Louise who hangs out, even spends the night. Cary Grant is jealous because she kisses him on the cheek. And she was in love with him, according to her diary. And she kept the graduation ring or something. I don't know. Mr. Blandings. Builds his dream house. So it's got a happy ending. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but here we go. 1940 U.S. comedy film. This was the third and last pairing of Grant and Loy. Shared a comparable chemistry previously in The Bachelor and Bobby Soxer, which I have not seen, and Wings in the Dark, also which I have not seen. It was a box office hit. The film was remade in 1986 as The Money Pit, starring Tom Hanks and Shelley Long. And in 2007 as Are We Done Yet, starring Ice Cube. So it was remade twice, this movie. So Meryl is the name of the Myrna Loy character. She wants to knock out a wall and remodel their apartment for $7,000, which is $60,000 in 2020. After rejecting this idea, Cary Grant comes across an ad for new homes in Connecticut. Yeah. And they get excited about moving. They purchase a fixer-upper. It's a leaning, dilapidated, nearly 200-year-old farmhouse on some 35 acres where General Gates stopped to water his horses during the Revolutionary War. The Blandings purchased the property for 5 times more than the going rate per acre for locals. I said 2 times. It's actually 5 times. And the Bill Cole dude, the college friend, chastises him for following his heart rather than his head. So the old house, dating from the Revolutionary War era, turns out to be structurally unsound, has to be torn down before the previous owner's mortgage is paid off. The Blandings hire architect Henry Sims, Reginald Denny, to design and supervise the construction of the new home for $18,000. Which is $160,000 in 2020. From the original purchase to the completion of the new home, a long litany of unforeseen troubles and setbacks, including digging a deep well only to find there was a spring only a few feet under the foundation, beset the hapless Blandings and delayed their move-in date. Mrs. Blandings insists on having 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. The demolished house's owners also sues them for the balance of the mortgage. On top of all this, at work, Jim is assigned the task of coming up with a slogan for Wham! Brand Ham, an advertising account that has destroyed the careers of previous account executives assigned to it. It's the curse of death, like my former job. Which, not coincidentally, my former Filipina coworker did before she got let go. Jim also suspects that Muriel is cheating on him. After Bill Cole spends the night in the house with only Muriel present during a violent thunderstorm. With mounting pressure, skyrocketing expenses, and the encroaching deadline for his assignment, Jim starts to wonder why he wanted to live in the country. Bill observes that although he has been the voice of doom, pointing out all the ways they were being cheated, when he looks at what they have here, he realizes that some things you do buy with your heart and not with your head. Maybe those are the things that really count. Sounds like a reckless spender problem here in this movie, even though $160,000 in 2020 is it's hardly anything. It's still pretty cheap to buy a house, especially around here. They go for like $1 million or more. Anyways. I went through the plot on Wikipedia in case somebody thought that I wasn't paying attention again. I was doing an unfair review. I went through it again to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So there you go. I think I'm going to sleep for about 12 hours. Wake up. Look for part-time work on Blue Crew. Whatever the website is. When I type bluecrew.com, nothing comes up. But when I do a Google query for Blue Crew, it comes up. So I'll do it that way. And maybe I'll wash dishes or serve food. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to try to shoot for the $20 to $23 an hour range, and hopefully some cash tips mixed in there. So maybe bartender. Maybe I'll shoot for bartender. We'll see how that goes. I had the interview yesterday. Got another interview for the 28th. Which might be one of the days that I have my son. That'll be interesting because his mother's going to tell me to take him to baseball practice on Thursday. And if I get a job for Wednesday and Thursday, I might have to switch around the days anyway. We'll see how that goes. So I'm waiting for that $2,000 loan so I can pay my stack of bills, have a little bit of money left over to carry me through next month when hopefully I have a second job by then and all my vacations with my son are done. I don't have to worry about not coming to work for my second job. So got all my laundry done, all my grocery shopping done. I took long naps. I got through this disc, which was like 3 hours and 30 minutes total. So that's what took me so long to get to this particular review, and only got one review in today, but I'll shoot for 3 more. I'll shoot for pieces on human bondage, and this is not a test. That's my goal for tomorrow. I'm not going to spend too much time looking for work, but Indeed has been a waste of time for me. Absolute waste of time. Laters.